Oh, okay, yes.
Just a couple of examples.
In,
Glaring examples.
in 2000,
Against them.
well, here, let me back up first. How I started doing the Democrats in was at the end of my first term, the Democrats wanted to build a lottery building. And I looked around in Richmond, I said, there's all this vacant space. Why do you need to build a new building? Besides, it would take up our parking space, and I wasn't going to let that happen. So I said, first of all, you don't need it. There's all this vacant space. And I went and found all the vacant space and said, why can't you do this? Didn't want to do that. So I can't believe how candid I was. I said, let me tell you what I'm doing. The Governor Wilder wanted to do this. I said, I'm going to force you to go on and take a vote on this because I'm going to move to cut the money out of here. And this is going to make people so mad they're going to kick you out of office. They thought I was just way off base. I said, Why do I know that? I remember a conversation that Bob Dornan had with Jerry Brown. Brown and Dornan were on an airplane one time, and Dornan was having a fight with the Planned Parenthood. And Brown said, hey, what is this thing that's going on right here? He said, oh, you know, this little fight on the money, and we're doing this. He said, well, don't worry about it. He said, about 6 months from now, what you're fighting over will go down the media rat hole, but your naming ID will increase out here. And then Brown added something very interesting. He said, remember, a picture is worth 1,000 words. A symbol is worth 1,000 pictures. The lottery building became, for the Democrats in Virginia in 1990, for the 1993 elections, a symbol of waste. You didn't have to explain it. You didn't have to reason your way to it. You saw this lavish building, huge. I mean, you could literally put a Tyrannosaurus Rex in the hall that you entered in here. And we did it. We had a fake, you know, dinosaur in this thing, in a picture. And Pat McSweeney polled this when he was chairman of the Republican Party around Virginia. He said, it was Art Finkelstein did this. He said, I can't believe this. This polls better for us than Reagan's fight on the Panama Canal. I knew we were going to beat a bunch of Democrats at this point. We beat, on my vote, 6 Democrats, and we almost beat 3 more. So we went from 38 Republicans to 44 Republicans the next time. I kept offering these amendments. The Democrats kept walking into these things just like, you know, lemmings off a cliff. I did it. But now you wanted to know where the Republicans. In 2007, I was still on the P&E committee. The last day, the last meeting, Lacey Putney says, does anybody have a motion? I thought to myself, it's either my guardian angel or guardian devil that suggested this. But I said, yeah, I have a motion. I move to report my House bill, I forget the number, 2907 or something like this, which says human life begins at fertilization and should be protected. He said, well, what's the bill do? When I explained it, I saw people like this, you know, the hair would go up, you know, on the back of the neck, the goose pimples. We were going back and forth on a series of tie votes where nobody had to prevail. After all the parliamentary maneuvers were exhausted, the final motion was to report. 3 Republicans got up. I thought they were in Olympic trials heading for the door. I called the vote. I won 8-7. They trotted back like I had got them, okay? They had to vote at this point, so they went on record. I thought, what a great victory. I'm driving home. I send an email out to people. This lady who's worked my precincts since 1991 calls me up, says, Bob, there's nothing here talking about this vote. I said, what do you mean? I said, she says, no, it's not there. I said, I called my son, Tommy. I said, Tommy, look at the internet, the website, look this bill up, tell me what you see. I said, do you see a vote out of committee? He called me back about 5 minutes later, said, no vote. I said, no vote. Well, I wasn't hallucinating, I was there. I called the deputy clerk. I said, what's going on? He said, well, we were told not to post the vote. I said, told not to post the vote in violation of the rules? He didn't answer yes. I said, well, who said this? I said, no, you won't tell me, so I'm not going to ask you, but I'm going to suggest something for you to do. You go tell the speaker. I was driving down 95. I said, you tell the speaker, Bill Howe, that if when I get there, that vote is not posted, I will bring the proceedings of the General Assembly to a halt for 2 weeks, and nothing will get done, and I mean nothing. I said, do you understand what I'm saying? He said, yes, I do. When I got to Richmond, I opened my computer up, I saw the vote. I said, okay, I got that far, but I knew I was in trouble. So I go over to Brian Moran, who's the Democrat minority leader. I said, Brian, I said, can you help me with something? He said, what's that, Bob? He said, what's the issue? I said, abortion. He said, oh, I'm going to hell. I said, Brian, on that one. I said, Brian, I know you're going to hell. But before you go to hell, will you help me get some Republicans to go to the board on this thing? And he got a big smile on his face. He said, are they ducking that again? I said, yes, Brian, they're ducking it again. I said, all I want you to do, help me get a record vote tomorrow, because I know they're going to try to get this off the floor. He said, let me talk to the Democrat caucus. So he did. I didn't know what was happening. I thought I had it, but still, I did not have a chance to talk to Brian. The Republican leadership tried to get this off the floor, again, without a record vote. So I demanded a voice vote. Lost. Division, lost. I said, Mr. Speaker, record vote. At that point, all the Democrats looked like a bunch of fat Cheshire cats over there, or Buddhas, smiling. They raised their hand. They gave me enough to get a record vote. I said, praise the Lord. I lost 53 to 46 or 47, but I got a record vote the first time ever since 1973, because I knew how to play that. I went to the Democrat to point it to his advantage. He thought it's to his advantage. I said, it's to my advantage in the long run to do this. So yeah, that's what I do.